It is today's leadoff question with Ezra Spiller from Rock Creek Football. Ezra, what do you remember about your first varsity game?
I remember we went to Southeast Lane, and that was the first year ever playing them. So it was an exciting game. They were defending 2A championship champions, so that it was a big game. First start, like we were a really good team that year, so it was a really big game. We went there. But one thing I remember, I got to play with my brother, and he's a senior that year, and my dad coaching me too, and he still coaches at Rock Creek. But it was really fun just having him back on defense, and my dad coaching me, and my mom being there too. So it was just a full 360. It just felt good to have my whole family there and be able to play with my brother one last time. So, but it was a fun game, and our outcome wasn't the way we wanted it to be, but it was really fun. Playing. I played D line back then, so but it was just a really fun game, and I played pretty good in it. My brother, he had a really big hit in it, so that's one thing I really remember. And our coaches always look back at that hit just for physicality. So that it was just a fun game. That they were a good team, but it was a really fun game.
What were your nerves like going into your first game?
During school that day, I was definitely a little nervous, but once we got there, it kind of started going up, like wearing off, and my brother was there to help me through it. So, and my dad and my brother just telling me to stay calm, know your assignments, and just do what we did in practice that week and the whole summer. And once I got on the field, everything kind of went quiet, and it was just kind of just not really my moment, but it was just kind of quiet. I was the only freshman that played that year, so it was a big moment for me. I feel like, and I had big responsibilities, but I wasn't too nervous, so.
Any other advice that your brother told you that year when you guys were both sharing the field at the same time?
He definitely just told me to do my assignments and don't do too much, and just be my person. Don't worry about making mistakes, especially as a freshman that year. And with our team being really good, we had multiple seniors that I played over that year, so it was a big honor. But he just said, do my assignment, stay in my place. Don't do too much.
Have you rewatched that first game? Have you ever gone back and rewatched that game?
A couple of times. Not anytime recently because I can't find anything on YouTube about it. But that year, I definitely watched it. Just my brother's big hit. It was a big hit, but if I wish I could find it now. But I watched that play a lot, and I had a couple tackles that game, but not recently. I haven't really watched that game specifically, so no.
What are the big improvements that you have made since that first game to now going into this season?
I've definitely upped my leadership a lot. Just being a senior this year, especially, and being the Mike backer on defense. You're the quarterback of the defense, so you got to know what your D line's doing, what your DBs are doing, what your other linebackers are doing. You got to get both calls for the back five, back four, then the front four, and then you got to communicate that, and then you got to know what you got to do. So it was my leadership has really grown a lot, and just me as a player, my physicality and just my smartness as a player has grown so much.
That is Ezra Spiller with Rock Creek Football with today's leadoff question.